Welcome to the Lingq Tutorial Series number 3. Today we're going to take a look at the lessons library, which is the first thing that you're going to see when you open up Lingq. And the lessons library can be a little bit confusing for beginner users, so I'm here to show you how you can navigate it. So let's move on to the computer. So let's take a look at the left part of the screen now, and we can see here different areas. Here on the top you can see the lesson feed. The lesson feed is the default area for the Lingq lessons, and it shows you popular lessons, which are lessons that are liked by a lot of people, or lessons that people have recently completed, or it also shows you newspaper articles. And this is because Lingq has partnerships with quite a lot of online newspapers so that every day you can get news to learn from. In this case, for example, in Korean, you have MBC News or Yonhap News, which is another popular news site in Korea. So that's the lesson feed. Below the lesson feed, you find the guided course, which is basically a collection of all the Lingq courses and lessons based on the proficiency level. So if you choose beginner 1, Lingq will show you all the courses available that match the beginner 1 level. And this is great, especially if you're a beginner, because here you can find courses that match your level and can get you started with Lingq. So if you're a beginner at your target language and you're trying to use Lingq, my personal suggestion is to go to the guided course, choose beginner 1 or even beginner 2, see what strikes you and go from there. Now the third option below the guided course is the browse library option. This allows you to choose courses and lessons based on a certain topic. So for example, here you can choose from news, entertainment, travel, sports, and whatever. Now notice that each language might have different topics because of course this is based on a language culture as well. So for example, for Korean, there is a K-pop section that you might not find in other languages. Now below the browse library, there's the lesson store. If you remember my previous videos, I talked to you about the Lingq Premium Plus and the Lingq coins that you can purchase to buy premium lessons. This is the lesson store where you can find premium lessons, that is lessons which are not included in the standard Lingq subscription, but that you can pay for separately. In the case of Korean, you can see that there aren't any courses actually in the lesson store. So that is one of the reasons why I don't encourage people to purchase a Lingq Premium Plus subscription, because for some languages there just aren't these premium lessons. So it's a bit of a waste of money in my opinion. And that's it for the left part of the screen. Now let's go and take a look at this part over here, the part on top. Now let's take a look at this filter over here, which basically allows you to only show you lessons for a specific proficiency level or for a range of levels. So if I put beginner 1 and apply, it'll only show me beginner 1 courses. But if I give a range of levels, that is from beginner 1 to intermediate 1, it'll show me all of these courses. This is a great feature because it allows you to filter for lessons based on your proficiency level. And what I recommend people to do is to find their proficiency level. So for example, my proficiency level in Korean might be something like an intermediate 1, and then choose a range that gives you lessons that are a little bit easier than your current level and a little bit harder than your current level. This allows for variety in your language learning because it's always a good idea to have different kinds of levels in your learning. So one day you might learn something that's a little bit easier. Another day, if you want to feel like you want to do a little bit more of a challenge, you want to get something a little bit harder and then go back to something that's exactly for your level. That allows you a lot of variety in your learning. And it also makes sure that you never lose your motivation, because if you feel a little bit less motivated, which can happen some days, you don't really want to focus on language learning as much, you may want to go for something a little bit easier. On other days when you're more motivated, then you can go and grab something that's a little more difficult. Another type of filter that I want to show you, I'll show it to you in the Browse Library section, is this one here. With Lingq, you can filter for courses and lessons. This means that if you choose lessons, Lingq will show you individual lessons, while if you choose the courses one, Lingq will show you only the courses. You might want to ask, what is the difference between lessons and courses? Now, here's my tip. Think of lessons not as textbook kind of lessons, but as the audio and text that you're going to learn from. And think of courses as a collection of those text files and audio files that are all centered around a specific topic. And then last but not least, we have the search bar. The search bar is pretty self-explanatory. You just write something that you want to look for and it'll give you results. So let's say, for example, music. I want to find lessons on music, and these are all my results. If you want to save a lesson or a course in your lessons, just go to the three dots over here on your right and click on Save to My Lesson. If you want to view the entire course, then again, the three dots under Save to My Lessons, you have the View Course. And if you just want to open the lesson right now and study it, just click on Open. So that's it for this episode. Let me know if you have any questions about the lessons library. In the next video, we're gonna go through the My Lessons page. So stay tuned for that until next week.